Everybody for a quick second, and I want to give you a song because why, African people, we sing, we dance, we tell stories, and that's part of what we do. So it's a call and response song, and the song is not a Yoruba song at this time. This song is a Malayan song, and it is Injale Si Minjoma. Anybody know it? Injale Si Minjoma. And it's called a response. It's called a response. So Injale Si Minjoma.
Injale Si Minjoma.
Injale Si Minjola.
Injale Si Minjola.
Say ya 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 oh.
Say ya 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 oh.
Mambre mi mambre jogana. Mambre mi mambre jogana. And that's all it is. It's really simple. It's a really simple song. And it's a song that tells them to tell the ancestors, to tell of all our good deeds and actions. The things that we did good, go on in and make noise. When somebody does something good, go up there and make some noise. And all those things that we didn't do right, forget about it. Injale Si Minjoma. Injale Si Minjoma. Say ya 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 oh. Mambre mi mambre jogana.
Mambre mi mambre jogana.
Injale Si Minjoma.
Injale Si Minjoma.
Say ya 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 oh. Say ya 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 oh. Mambre mi mambre jogana. Mambre mi mambre jogana. A little faster. Injale Si Minjoma.
Injale Si Minjoma.
Injale Si Minjoma.
Injale Si Minjoma.
Say ya 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 oh.
Say ya 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 oh.
Mambre mi mambre jogana.
Mambre mi mambre jogana.
Mambre mi mambre jogana. Injale Si Minjoma. Injale Si Minjoma. Say ya 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 oh. Say ya 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 oh. Mambre mi mambre jogana. Mambre mi mambre jogana. Injale Si Minjoma. Injale Si Minjoma. Say ya 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 oh.
Say ya 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 oh.
Mambre Si Minjoma.
Injale Si Minjoma.
Say ya 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 oh. Mambre mi mambre jogana. Ashe.
That's a big ashe.
Has its own rhythm.
Yes.
Well, we've been having a wonderful evening. Have you been enjoying the evening? Yes. The thing about teaching our culture, our spirituality, our history is to try to do what Malcolm said. What did Malcolm say? Make it plain. Make it simple. Because if the people don't understand you, it doesn't matter how much wisdom you got. If you can't make it simple, make it plain, so that the people understand you. Now I want to start this out with a piece, because we don't think, when we get into our Africanism and our spirituality and our Ashe this and our Okosun this, we forget about voting. We forget about the school board. We forget about the PTA. We forget about the block association. We forget about how do we run the economic, politics, and culture where we live.
True.
If you don't run it, somebody else will. And you spend your whole time complaining about somebody running your stuff because you haven't figured out how to apply your African stuff to your daily stuff.
Mm.
And if you can't apply your African stuff to your daily stuff, you don't have no stuff. You understand that? Let's make it plain, real simple, right? Somebody asked Brother Malcolm, said, Brother Malcolm, what do you mean when you say black nationalism? Because he said, I'm a black nationalist freedom fighter. And I always consider myself a black nationalist freedom fighter and a Pan-Africanist freedom fighter. Because those words are not opposed to one another, right? But in order to be a good black nationalist, I got to figure out how I'm going to control the economics, politics, and culture where I live.
There you go.
In order to control the economic, politics, and culture where I live, I've got to get a hold of land, labor, and resources where I live. Now, how do I do that? That's where your culture comes in and your spirituality comes in. Because your culture and your spirituality is your tool that organizes you around your best interests. You understand? So if I got my children going to the school, I can't just complain, oh, that's the white folks' school. Then I took all your tax money, billions of dollars from you, and you still saying it's their school. Then where did your billions of dollars go? Spirituality says you better get a hold of your reality. All right? And it means like you've got to understand, when we start talking about African spirituality and African strength and African power, we're not talking about separating ourselves from our daily reality. We're talking about having the African wisdom complement our daily reality.
True.
You see those Jews who are just straight out evil, what they're doing in the world, what they've done to us, what they're doing to the Palestinians right now. But guess what they got that you don't have? They're freaking organized around their concept of their spirituality. You can say right or wrong, they stole it from me, whatever. They got it and shit works for them. Okay? Now you want yours to work for you. You can't abandon your daily reality.
True.
You got to figure out, how am I going to provide food, clothing, shelter, safety, and security for me and my family? But first I got to define who my family is. That's where history and culture comes in. All right? How do we do that? You know, we wear traditional African clothes, but in the winter that don't work too good. You know what I'm saying? I had my hoodie on under this, you know, and I took it off a little bit aside. But when you lean to your cultural dress, then you've got to get control of the industry that produced the dress.
There you go.
Economics. Okay? When we lean to our we want to have, leisure time, then we ought to define the African nations and Caribbean nations that's practicing African nationalism, and only those places do we go for vacation.
That's right.
That's what your spirituality does, is tell you how to hook up your reality so it serves you in the manner it should serve you. Even our people, and I tried to touch this a little bit earlier, most of us in here, our families are Christians. Most of us in here, our families are either Christians or Muslims, especially in Brooklyn, and they go to the church and the mosque, and they think we crazy. Even though they acting crazy as hell all day long, they think we crazy, right?
Yeah.
But guess what? That's what we got. That's our family. You don't come to save the saved. You come to save those who are not saved. If you abandon the ones you think is blind and lost, then what purpose have you as a light to them? Right? Your job, if you think you are light, is to lead someone else out of darkness. And darkness is the metaphor of ignorance, of understanding how you need to function in order to survive economically, politically, culturally in this world. And if we don't make the hookup with our African spirituality to our fundamental daily reality, you're wasting your time. Because I'm not nobody's celebrity. I took pictures with all y'all and I love my people. That's why I do what I do. You know, white folks offered me a lot of money not to do anything for you. And I was very young. we'll give you the 6 figures. One time they were so crazy when I had a bachelor's degree. And I didn't even earn the bachelor's degree. I just raised so much hell in my classroom, they gave me a bachelor's degree to get me out of college. That's the God bless the truth. But when I came back to the school and re-enrolled in City College and decided I'm going to take this shit for my people, and we began the process of the taking, they came and called a meeting, the alumni board. Old Cy Weissman was his name. Had 2 Mossads with him. You know who the Mossad is? The Israeli intelligence that guard a lot of their leaders over here. Right? And I went in the office. Normally I didn't meet with these people by myself, but that particular day, I thought I know old Cy. It couldn't be nothing harmful with him. I get in the office and I see these 2 guys and I realize who they are from Foster. And he offered me, now this is the 1982 or so. He says, James, we want you to give up the Finley Student Center, because most of you didn't know what I did at City College. Y'all just know I was there. I ran City College. I ran the presidency of City College. I ran the Black Studies Department. I ran that college for 18 years before black people betrayed me and pushed me out.
What?
Okay. I gave the white people their space, but I guaranteed black and Latin people their space. And they couldn't do nothing about it because I walked in there with an army. None of the blacks walked in. When I came up to City College initially, I was the imam of the Muslim mosque, and you knew what I had behind me? They knew what I had behind me. Then later with my brother sitting right here, we built the Sons of Africa. And the Sons of Africa was a force for everybody to reckon with. And it was my conception. But the point was, they offered me a 3-figure, what they call 6-figure. What's the figure they offer when you give me the 2 out of now? 6 figures, right? They said, we're going to give you a 6-figure job. We're going to give you a master's degree and a PhD. But you have to leave City College. I said, damn, that sounds good. I was broke. We had 4 kids. Carol was struggling to go to med school. And me and them babies, I had them babies. They used to call me Mr. Mom, because I had 4 babies with me every day. Everywhere I went, night and day, weekends. And I went along, so that sounds really good. They thought they had me. You could see in their face, oh, we got this Negro now. And so I asked a bunch of questions. I said, well, what happens when you move me to this new place that's going to pay me the 6 figure? And somebody finds out I don't have a master's degree or PhD. They said, no one but that. We're going to sit somebody in the classroom who will earn it for you in your name. Oh. That's what they do. So, and when I said, nah, and I got up at the chair and started towards the door because I didn't know who the other 2 dudes were, right? And I didn't want to get trapped in a bad situation and nobody ever hear me again. So I moved towards the door. And this white man, the only white man, the second white man in my life that ever did that in my face, said, nigga, what do you want? Oh, look at this little crack cold man. He knew I could beat him down on a dime. And I didn't respond to the nigga. I just said, I want the same thing you want for your people. Show me how you can give me the same thing for my people that you give for your people. I'll take your 6 figure and I'll take the job and I'll leave. Here's my phone number. Call me. Wow. Because they never called me, and I spent the next 16 years. You gotta understand, as the head of the Finley Student Center, I had a $2 million budget, bigger than the president. I had a staff of 64 persons. I had a 1 student majority on the Student Service Corporation that guaranteed my contract renewal every year. I ran all of the conference center, the theaters, the bookstores, the restaurant at City College, but you didn't know none of that because I walk around in my little jeans and my little dashiki and my little sneakers, and nobody knew what I did at City College. I taught in Black Studies as an adjunct, but I was an adjunct that taught a full professor's load. So the reason they had to call me professor, because in the state of New York, I can't pay you a professor's salary unless I give you the professor's title. Right. So even as an adjunct lecturer, I was a professor's title because I taught 3 classes every semester. The largest class in the school, I taught. They got so upset about that. I taught over 200 kids registered every year. It's called Religion and Survival. I taught traditional African religion, voodoo, and other things. And so what they said is we're going to move him to Saturday, because there was no Saturday class in CUNY. I was the only Saturday class, and I thought that would make students not registered. I'm telling you the story for a reason, on top of reality and spirituality. When they moved me to Saturday, the class doubled. Okay, because black folks wanted to learn about black folks. And so they came up with a thing that no one could register more than 50 people. This actually is going on while we all going to school, and I'm fighting these crazies. We finally settled for 75 students per class. But my class would still have another 150 kids who weren't registered.
Right.
So I'm telling you this because when we think of the city university, when I went there, just City College had 22,000 students in the middle of Harlem and less than 250 blacks in that year. On our tax money, there was no tuition.
At that time, yes.
Same thing for Queens College, Brooklyn College, Hunter College. And here we were, they're taking all of our tax monies, and we had reconciled that that's their school, not our school. And then something came in the spirit that we could say, this is our school, not their school. And we took it from them. And they've taken a lot of it back. But the only thing that's important about a school is the place where you go to get tools. Okay? You go to school to get tools and skills in running the society you live in. So you need those things. So you can't separate your spirituality from your reality.
Right.
So what I did, I went to my Ewe community, and they came to City College and had a Durba. The Ewes is the people who live in Ghana and in Togo, and they planted a tree. I'm talking about how you use voodoo scientifically. They planted a little tree that grew to be a big tree. Somehow somebody betrayed us. 18 years later, the enemy came in the middle of the night, dug the tree up, and disappeared. And I was fired the next year. You gotta understand your science. It works if you use it, but you can't betray it. You understand? That tree, that special tree that stood beside Gotham Hall all those years, there was no way for them to know what that tree was. Unless somebody betrayed us somewhere. But we had 18 years. Because the spirit that was put in that ground at City College guaranteed us that power. It wasn't about me at all. I was just the conduit. I was the servant given the job. Dr. Jeffries was the conduit, servant given a job. The first voodoo ceremony ever done at City University, we did it at City College. Most of the Haitian faculty tried to run me out of the school because they were too intellectual to deal with voodoo. But I found a brother named Alexander Samdi, a Hogan from Brooklyn, who headed a community here in Brooklyn. And they came to City, and we took the ballroom at City and created every beve you could create with that cornmeal, and we turned it out for 18 years. So we wasn't just up there with things people couldn't see and didn't see or didn't understand what we were doing. But we did the magic. But it was the science. Was how do I take energy and block this energy? Because the energy that ran City College, and I'm telling you all of this because I want you to understand the simplicity of spirituality being a reality. City College is not run by the president of City College. It's not run by the faculty of City College. City College is run by the Carnegie Corporation. Okay? Everybody there worked for Carnegie Corporation. An engineering school produces for Carnegie Corporation. The business school produced for Carnegie Corporation. You gotta understand. All of the CUNY schools belong to different clusters of banks and corporations. So when they tried to bring in a president, and as president, I was a graduate student president, I blocked it. I said, according to the laws, if you don't have me on your search committee, the search committee is invalid. Because they try to carry it on without me. Then I threaten to go to court and get a court order. Then I get a call from CUNY. The chancellor would like to know, can I come down to his office? Again, go by myself. Excuse me. Get to the office, get on the floor on 80th Street. Everybody's leaving the top floor, getting on an elevator. I'm going, what's up? And I always carried a pet with me. Anybody from the old days know what a pet is? I never left home without my pet. I took it to school every day. When I work, it was in my office drawer every day. But I'm not crazy. I'd rather do 66 years and 6 feet. You gotta always be ready. Get to the chancellor's office. I'm gonna tell the story because it's a real story. Chancellor Kibbe meets me at the elevator and says, somebody wants to talk to you. I said, I thought I'm coming to meeting with you. He said, no, someone else wants to meet with you. I said, I'm not meeting with anybody, and you're not getting on the elevator. You're gonna go and open that door and introduce me to whoever the somebody is, which he does, because I was very forceful. He opens the door, very well dressed, good looking white man stood up in the chair. His name is David Robinson. He was the CEO of the Carnegie Corporation. They sent the big boy to talk to this Negro. They said, because he gonna block this thing. I wanted a black president at City. They wanted a black president at Queens and a white president at City. And the white president at City they wanted was this military officer, this Air Force officer. For some reason, they thought that would like crush the movement of black and Latino kids by bringing in this military man. But I go like, that can't happen. So when I get in the room and I meet the guy and I step in the room, realize it's just me and him in there, I'm cool, because I can handle this. He closed the door and Kibbe goes to the elevator, and the first thing the white man says to me, I can have you killed 10 minutes after you walk out of here. That was his first friggin' sentence.
Whoa. Wow.
That tells you how much power he thought he had. I can have you killed 10 minutes after you walk out of here. But he didn't know he was dealing with me, even though I was lying. I said, I knew I was coming, and I've arranged for your death, and a dead man can't reverse his office. And he blinked. And once he blinked, I know I got him. And so we talked for about an hour. And then he says, go in that corner, Mr. Small, and I'm going to go in this corner. Write down 10 things you want, I'll write down 10 that I want. When we came back, we actually had 8 of the same things. And then he sat and he said, Mr. Small, I'm going to apologize. He said, because you're not the person they told me I was coming to meet with. And then he told me who told me. And 2 of them were black people who I thought, one was my leader, I thought. And the other one was a leading black person at the college, along with a couple of white people. That's how we get the first black president in CUNY. He grants me the black presidency, Bernard Halston. But he said, I'm not going to give you your man, you got to take my man. And I said, my people won't know this is your man. Okay, I'm going to have the psychological victory, and that's what I need, because they won't, the individual wouldn't have any power anyway. So I'll win the psychological victory. I'll have the black president in CUNY, and that black president will be a state, even though he was the one that betrayed me and pushed me out. But the point I'm trying to make is that our daily reality must be so wrapped and tied into your spirituality, you can't tell the difference between the two. And if you live like that and work like that, you will be the light of the world that you were created to be. Because when the universe first decided to be human, it was a black woman.
Teach. All right.
Because brothers, y'all ain't gonna bring no babies to your behind, okay? It would have to be a black woman, and she and the universe gave birth to the first man. And our history says that. Go back into our sacred history and our sacred science. Go to the book of the pyramid text. And you get Amen being the first manifestation. Amen means that which is hidden that we can't know. And Amen says, I create the world. Let me see. Let me get this right now.
Take your time.
Amen is creating the world. And he wants to create the world so that it would be. So the first thing it does, it coughed up air, and it spat out moisture. And then the moisture and the air and the gases, what all that stuff makes up, create the minerals that became earth, get, and the other things, elements, which we call nut. It's all a scientific treaty when you read it on physics and quantum physics. But we're writing it as a spiritual treaty in a book called the Pyramid Text. I called existence to exist so that existing might exist. And when I realized that existing existed, Ma'at was at my side. And the female concept of the universe of truth, justice, righteousness, harmony, balance, reciprocity. We wrote this shit before there was a Bible, Torah, Quran, anything was even thought of 30, 40,000 years. That means we understood that spirituality and reality was intertwined in a way you can't separate them. One is feminine and one is masculine. And that's the laws throughout nature. Even as we live here in this community in Brooklyn, or we come to this bookstore. You know, I remember, what street we were on? When we were on way
downtown
Flatbush.
and
Near Flatbush.
Yeah.
And y'all was fighting because they wanted to get you out.
Right.
And it was a war. But the concept of this bookstore would not allow itself to die.
Right.
And the people that supported Nicholas would not allow the concept of a bookstore, because it's not just a bookstore, it's an institution, it's an educational institution. It is a museum, it is a library, it's a meeting place, all of these different things. But you have to be conscious that you need these things, and then be willing to fight to keep these things. And that's what people did, and that's why we're here tonight. So I'm going to end with this on this spirituality. Yes, you can feel it. You can feel the energy. And like the sister said, if you're at a certain place, you can see energy manifest. We call it ghosts when we see this. They come up with other words like aberration and all kinds of stuff. So if I'm thinking of Mama, my grandma, in my subconscious, I have a memory of what she looks like. I have a memory of what she wore that I like to see her wear. And I have a memory of what she smells like. All of these things is embedded in my DNA. And if I needed her so bad, because things are bad and I know when it was bad, I could need Mama, and she would always be there. All of those other things in me about her would manifest, and she would stand right in front of me. Visually. And I can hear audibly. But you have to get there. I think as Zora Neale Hurston said, to be there, you gotta go there. But to go there, you have got to know there. To be there, you gotta go there. But to go there, you've got to know there. And I'm saying that about our spirituality self. Yes, I'm sitting up here doing all this yada yada yada, but I mess up like everybody in this room. I succumb to temptation like everybody in this room. I can be stimulated. Bud sister was sitting up here and it's so stimulating I had to look up at the ceiling there. I can be stimulated like anybody else in the room. But then we have to go in our mind to the teaching and the construct of ethics and morals that will say us, check yourself.
Right.
And even if you fall into it, you got to be able to get up and say, go back to that same construct and say, heal yourself, reconstruct yourself, patch your broken self, paint yourself over. And that's why it's important to learn the spiritual systems, because it does help us. It does work, but we have to use it with integrity. It's not something you play with to make some money off of.
Right.
This is serious business. This is revolutionary business. We are not going to be allowed to be free to be anything except to become African again. So if you think you can be free in a halfway manner, you ain't going to be free. You wear all the clothes you want, do all the hairstyle you want, all the jewelry you want, all the makeup you want, you can eat all the good foods you want. But if you ain't willing to do this whole package and come back to being African, we will not be allowed freedom by the universe, which is God itself. It is the universe, the totality of everything that is divinity. Study any African language and look up their word for person, people, place, or thing. And you will find that either the suffix or the prefix in those words is their words for their divinity. If you look at words like Lisa and Sobe Lisa of the Ewe and of the Ebo, those words means creation, that the totality of creation itself is divinity. Okay. The white man have a word for it. Y'all don't know. He's trying to figure it out. He calls it his quest for the theory of one. His quest for the theory of one. He's trying to understand how the African perceive God. Because he can't perceive God. He could talk about it theoretically. But Africans with no shoes on, with a cutlass in their hand, going to the farm every day, is living it out actually. They know every bush along that road and what it's used for. They know what color that fan of dirt has to be in order for the crop to come good this year or not come good this year. They know if that particular grasshopper is there versus another grasshopper, there's something different going to happen to what I'm going to plant this year. He's living in the reality of his ecology. And he's learned it and he's mastered it. We live in an ecology over here that we've allowed to master us. We have not mastered it.
Facts.
And so spirituality is so married to your reality. You can't tell the difference between the two.
Ashe.
Thank you. Bobby, you want to?
Yeah. Give it up for a doctor. Give it up. I know you can do better than that. Come on now. Like anything else, I want you to stand and to remain standing because we're going to end in invocation to the ancestors. And I'm going to teach you something because, you know, we have 2 feet and 1 foot is called the good foot. And sometimes people talk about leaving and leaving the good foot, leaving on the good foot. Well, the left foot is the female side of your body. The right side is the male side. And we call this yeye, ori yeye. And the right side is called baba, or ori baba. But I want you to deal with your ori yeye, and I want you to just stamp your foot. But now listen, don't give me that off beat now. Let's come together, y'all. Come on, let me hear you. There you go. You're getting it going. That's all right. The heartbeat is there. You're all doing it. All right. Igba mojo. Tentende. Tentende. Ojo. Kobe any ko, Kobe any Kobe. Roby any ro, ko. Let me hear you. Wala la wa mondo, wala wa mojo. Jobi abeji, jo. Igba tí ìwọ mojo. Hear me. Tentende, everybody. Tentende o, kojo, kobi eni kobe, robi eni ko, wala la wa mojo, jobi abeji, jo. Abao, hey, yeah, hey, Abao, hey, yeah, hey, Abao, hey. Come on, man, Koto Boruka. Babo, Babo, hey, hey, yeah, oh, yeah, oh, hey, hey, Babo, Babo, hey, hey, yeah, oh, hey, hey. For what you have said, as you've gotten that force in your body, you feel the force of your ancestors. You feel the vibration. You can't possibly not feel energy. It says, get up and dance while you still got the chance. Get up and unweed it. How they went down and they unweed those things and pile it up in a heap. And they dance. Don't forget to dance while you still have the chance. Get up and dance. Igba mojo. Awanlo odigba oshe kama fiku yarawa kama fara yarawa. Now that we're leaving, let us not leave in sickness. Let us not leave in death. Let us be one people and one Africa. Ashe.
Ashe.
Brothers and sisters, just hold on a second. Hold on a second. I need you to grab that.